Good morning, everybody. This is Mike here. I'm doing a little commentary, something I haven't done in a while. And it's at Matthew 25, starting in verse 14. It's about the three servants who were given talents of silver and were given a task by their master to invest it, to increase it. This is a parable Jesus told. Um, the point of it is that two of the servants that were given talents of silver, they did increase it, they invested it, and they had revenue to give back to their master whenever he came back. And then he had one servant who just took the bar of silver and he didn't do anything with it. He buried it because he was afraid he might lose it if he tried to invest it, and then he wouldn't have anything to give back to his master, and he knew his master was harsh anyway. He didn't do anything with it. My point, and I think Jesus' point in that parable telling that, is that he knew what was coming up. He would sacrifice himself on our behalf because we can't fulfill the righteousness that God requires. But he did it on our behalf, and that if we have given ourselves to Christ, if we have committed our lives to Christ and to live his way and to walk in the ways that God would have us do, the main and a big point of that is to share the gospel of Jesus with others. And so that's kind of what I'm getting at here, is if we have that information, if you've studied the Bible forward and backward, and you know what chapter and verse, and man, you can cite it and everything, and you're really impressive whenever we're in church having service, and you have all this knowledge. But that knowledge doesn't do any good if we're not sharing it and if we're not increasing God's kingdom. That's the whole purpose of it, is for us to go. Jesus said to go and to make disciples, saving and baptizing in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and go out to the ends of the earth and tell everybody. And in that parable, this is the part that scares me, is that wicked servant that didn't do anything with that information that he had and that he was given, he had his talent of silver taken away from him, and he was cast out. He was bound hand and foot, cast into outer darkness, where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Doesn't sound like a really nice place to be. So that's my point. It's like, if we just sit and we don't share it with anybody outside of our church family, we're not talking to our family members, we're not talking to our friends, we're not talking to our co-workers, we're not talking to strangers about Christ, we're in the category of that evil servant. And I don't want any of us to be there as believers. We got into this because we were given this huge gift. Jesus tells us that his yoke is light and his burden's light and his yoke is easy. And it is, because all he's asking us to do is to share the gospel, love our neighbors, and to walk by the example that he gave us in all of the gospels. That's not a hard thing to do. He tells us if we walk in his will, if we walk in the will of the Father, all these other things that we worry about so much about on our daily, or money, or clothes, health, children, how we're going to advance in our work job and all that kind of stuff, those things don't matter. They really don't matter. We're here on this earth for just a tiny bit of time. So small. If you wrapped a rope around the earth 1,000 times, and that was eternity, our time on earth would be a speck that you could only see with the most high-power microscope that they have out there to do. That's it. But we get caught up in this, and that's all. It consumes us. It consumes us with everything that's going on, and it's designed that way. But back to my point. You have this information, and we have to realize that we're not here for a long time, and it's our job to get out there and to share that. Whether people accept it or not is up to them. That's God's. After we give them the information, we tell them that there's salvation in Jesus Christ. We tell them that there's a better way of life than what this world offers. This place is just temporary. We're just here for a short time. We're here as ambassadors. We're here to recruit, and we need to take that information and we need to share it with people. Doesn't do a bit of good having all that stuff and not sharing it and increasing God's kingdom. That's what we're called to do. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. I just want you to know, if you're a believer, if you follow Jesus Christ, if you've committed your life to him, let's get out there and share the gospel. It's the reason why I do my channels, so that you can get that information and you can take it out there and share it. So I love you guys. Talk to somebody today about Jesus Christ, whether it's a family member or a close friend. Just start. Let's start doing it. God bless.